Some TV, the pulse of the nation.
Hey Taraba State, let's ascend to the future. Imagine a world where entertainment, transportation, finance and commerce are at your fingertips 247. Welcome to the future. Taraba Business School and Taraba News proudly present a revolutionary lineup of products and services designed to transform your life. Some TV, your premier 247 destination for local and international entertainment, news and educational content. Come to the broadcast of News Hour on Super Media Television.
Welcome to the broadcast of World News on Super Media Television.
Welcome to the broadcast of news across Nigeria on Super Media Television.
This is Sport Daily on Some TV.
Good morning, Nigeria. This is the morning show from Some TV.
Supercab, safe, convenient and affordable 247 transportation services across Jalingo and Taraba State. Supercash unlocks seamless 247 financial transaction, easy loans and rewarding savings with our innovative mobile banking solution. Taraba Online Markets. Buy and sell local and exotic products. Connect with suppliers and grow your businesses 247 with our vibrant e-commerce platform. TBS e-learning. Access a wall of knowledge with our comprehensive online courses and myriad of professional programs. SuperSub. Unlock exclusive subscription subscription-based services, discounts, and reward. Don't miss this groundbreaking products and services. Join us as we all celebrate in the future and experience the future today. Taraba Business School and Taraba News, empowering your future 247. Ascend to the future. Hey Taraba State, let's ascend to the future. Imagine a world where entertainment, transportation, finance and commerce are at your fingertips 247. Welcome to the future. Taraba Business School and Taraba News proudly present a
Good morning. Welcome to the Sun TV Morning Show. It's a bright Wednesday morning, and you're tuning to Sun TV Morning Show, your daily dose of insight, inspiration, and positive energy to kickstart your day. So midweek is often the time to pause, reflect, and realign. A moment to ask yourself, are we even true to who we are, even when no one is watching? So that's what integrity is all about, doing the right thing, even when nobody is watching, when the easiest choice is to compromise. Let me share a short story. Years ago, a young civil servant in Nigeria discovered that an error in salary computation had credited him with extra pay. No one would have noticed if he kept quiet, but he didn't. He reported it years later when a major integrity-driven reform committee was being formed. He was chosen to lead it. Not because he had the loudest voice, but because he had the cleanest record. So integrity may not make noise, it builds trust, the foundation of leadership. business and nation building. And as the late Dr. Dora Akinyuli, former NAFDAC Director General, once said, integrity, transparency, and the fight against corruption has to be part of the culture. They have to be taught as fundamental values. So as you go about Wednesday, remember, reputation is what people think of you, but integrity is who you truly are. Stay tuned. We got inspiring stories, news updates, weather reports, and conversations that matter right here on the Sun TV Morning Show. I am Abraham Mane Joda, and with me this morning is Mr. Ira Daniel Kukwen, who is the Director of News and Public Affairs on Sun TV. Good morning, Mr. Ira.
Good morning to you, and good morning to Nigerians out there. Have a very pleasant day.
Yes, the weather is quite pleasant today, with no showers.
Yes, but we may still have the showers as the day go by. The sky is looking as if it may rain. But
for the farmers in Taraba here, which do you think this sunny weather is better for now, or we still need rainfall?
We still need rainfall for people that planted
beans.
Yes, beans and other crops that may need the rains up to early November.
What about rice?
Yeah, there are people whose rice can still benefit from this because some rice may be due for harvest by the end of this month or early next month.
Okay. Okay, let's go to the weather report. Let's take a quick look at the weather conditions across Nigeria this Wednesday morning. In Jalingo, the Taraba State capital, temperatures are sound. Temperatures are around 23 degrees, 23 degrees with partly cloudy skies and a mild breeze expected through the day. It's a pleasant morning, perfect for outdoor activities, but to keep hydrated as the day warms up. In Abia, it is it is 22 degrees with light showers expected later in the day. Lagos is at 23 degrees with humid conditions and a chance of scattered clouds through the afternoon. Calabar and Port Harcourt both report 24 degrees with slight chances of rainfall, typical of the coastal weather pattern. And moving north, just remains the coolest at 90 degrees Celsius, while Kaduna, Kano, and Katsina over around 21 degrees and to 22 under clear skies. Across the country, weather conditions remain generally stable, a mix of sun and clouds with occasional showers expected in the south and central regions. Drivers are advised to stay cautious on the highway as early morning fog and light rain may reduce visibility in some areas. And for global watchers, weather authorities report snowy winter ahead in parts of the United States and the changing temperature patterns across Europe. But here in Nigeria, it's all about staying cool and safe under our tropical skies. That's the weather update for today, so stay tuned to Sun TV for more updates. No matter the weather, your attitude determines your climate. So, well, that is the weather report for today. So we'll go straight to the newspapers to see what the papers have for us. Let us start with, let's go to the Punch. The Punch newspaper. Say, countdown to 2027. Countdown 2027. Tinubu to pick new INEC chair this week. That is the major headline on the Punch this morning. Let's just take that story before we go on the Punch. We have it that President Bola Tinubu has formally accepted Professor Mahmood Yakubu's departure as chairman of the Independent National Electoral Commission following the expiration of his second and final tenure. Following the development, the president is set to name Yakubu's successor after the Council of State meeting in Abuja on Thursday, after presenting a list of nominees for the coveted #1 electoral umpire position. To Yakubu, on Tuesday, handed over to May Agbumuche Umbu, a seasoned legal expert who has assumed the role of acting chairman pending the appointment of a substantive successor. In recognition of his service, the president conferred upon the ex-INEC boss the national honor of Commander of the Order of the Niger. Former President Olusegun Obasanjo and Goodluck Jonathan, state governors, and other members of Council of State are expected to advise Tinubu on the next INEC chair. The special advisor to the President of Innovation and Strategy, Oyo Nanuga, in a statement on Tuesday, disclosed that Tinubu thanked the outgoing INEC boss for his services to the nation. Well, that is the end of an era. Professor Mahmood Yakubu, different views for different people, if you ask me.
Yes, he has been the national limelight for some time. He came to be INEC boss from Tetfon Bose, and like that, he served meritably well, at least above board. I will not be able to ascertain whether this is the percentage of how he has excelled as the chairman of INEC, but he has served well, at least under his tenure. So many elections were conducted, so many reruns were conducted, and so far so good. We wish him well in his future endeavors. We look forward to him contesting elections and taking up other roles.
Any INEC chairman that has ever got himself involved in election after?
Except Atahiru Jega.
Yes.
Maybe Atahiru Jega started it. He took over from Atahiru Jega. Yes. So he has set the precedent. So we look forward to Professor Mahmood Yakubu going on to contest for senator, contesting for governor, or contesting for the president of the Federal Republic of Nigeria. He may join the ADC, or the PDP, or the APC. Well, and congratulations too on the award of CON.
CON too. Yeah. So, and I would like to just, what I would say about Professor Mahmood Yakubu, it means a lot to a lot of people. Some may, well, I don't have anything to say on the results of elections because it is what the court says eventually that will make you determine if something failed. But I would think in his tenure as chairman of INEC brought in the most innovations into INEC. He was able to bring a lot of innovations into INEC. Some worked the way it should, some didn't work the way it should work. But at least it's something that others can build on. So at this point, Professor Mahmood Yakubu has done his part. And posterity will judge him on what he has done. So the new person coming must ensure that this innovation started, this reform started, must be sustained. And just like we said, it must be fine-tuned, and it must also ensure that whoever comes in does better, because we're supposed to be getting better by the day. And if you ask me, a lot of people may not agree with me. I think now the numbers we are seeing in election is a truer reflection of Nigerians' voters than in the past.
Than in the past, yes.
Anybody who disagree then must be deceiving him or herself. Yeah. Because in the past, they stuffed ballot boxes. You will see 30 million votes, right? But when technology came in, we began to see if someone has to win with 8 million. That shows that Nigerians really don't vote as much as we think they do.
Just like somebody said in the past, he said some elections were just declared. Some people won and some people were declared. Then I think there is something that is still lacking now that he is leaving. So whosoever will take over from him will have to take that into cognizance. Nigerians still don't have full confidence on INEC. That is something that he couldn't achieve even after putting in so much efforts. So we look forward to INEC under the new leadership restoring or introducing, let me use the word introducing, because never at a point in time have Nigerians have complete trust on those umpires like that. So let's see how it goes. The new INEC board should be able to see how confidence will be restored, how whenever INEC declare a result, everybody will go back home and rest and say, if it is INEC, then so be it.
Nigerian political space and political players will never agree when they win or lose. That is another. INEC has its own issues, a lot of issues with INEC, but I think the Nigerian political system itself does not help situation. They come up with all manners of where they win. If Party A wins, it will say it's victory for democracy. If he loses, it will say democracy is finished. And they are very definite statements that democracy is finished in Nigeria. And you begin to wonder. The same democracy you praised in State A, you're saying it's finished in State B. So we need to also begin to learn how to play the game the right way. And I will say it, irrespective of what anybody feels, the 2023 election was a better reflection of how we vote than any other election before now.
I agree with you.
I will say that, and whatever anybody says, that is my own view.
That is the way it is. I believe so too, because somehow you see the reflection of how, look at how Labour Party won in places that ordinarily they wouldn't have won if it were years before. Labour Party,
the box would just be stuffed and numbers would be declared. And then I think we need to have a better understanding of how the electoral law works, how IRF. Then again, I keep saying it, we are all quiet now. We need some reforms of the electoral. Everybody's quiet, running up and down, building parties. You have people in there. What is going to happen? The lapses we saw in the last election, nobody has cared about it. Until when the next election comes, then we know these are obvious lapses, but nobody's taking action about it because where it may not favor you here, it favors you there.
Yes, on Sun TV News at 9 yesterday, the Speaker of House of Representatives gave assurance that all the aspect of election that has to do with the National Assembly will be yes, action will be expedited before 2027 election. So Nigerians are waiting to see whether that is going to see the light of the day or it's just a normal thing that politicians see so that Nigerians will be pacified. We look forward to those reforms being effected so that at the end of the day, when elections are declared in 2027, at least, just like you said, 2023 election was better than the previous ones. We look forward to 2027 election being better than 2023 elections. And until we reach the promised land, we'll never stop to talk about it. We'll never stop to condemn what we think is condemnable and criticize what we think is supposed to be criticized.
The Nigerian political space, the election is good when you win, but it's bad.
To most politicians. But we've seen politicians who accepted that we actually lost the election and nothing happened to them. They didn't die. They lived to contest for another election and still maybe win. So there is no point for you to come out and make statements that will cause people's life or properties to be destroyed simply because you feel you have to get a position at the point. Because most of the times when people say we're rigged out, there's a way this thing brew tensions and crises in the society.
Well, and also let's go to Daily Trust. Daily Trust has this headline, Amopitan may emerge INEC chair. That is from Daily Trust. The state is now set for president to announce a new chairman for the Independent National Electoral Commission, as Professor Mahmood Yakubu on Tuesday ended in 10-year tenure as head of the electoral body. So shortly before Yakubu Bauda, indication emerged that the presidency has zeroed in on 3 persons. That is Professor Joash Ojo Amopitan, Justice Abdullahi Mohammed Liman, and Professor Lai Oloride as possible replacements. A presidential source told Daily Trust last night that conclusions have been made and that Amopitan is leading the list of the likely people to replace the former INEC chairman. Professor Yakubu had, after a meeting with resident electoral commissions at the commission's head office in Abuja, stepped down and handed over to Mrs. May Agbumuche-Mbu, a national commissioner at the commission who has taken over in acting capacity. So now, from these all indications, Professor Joas Rojo Amopiton is the preferred, may be the one that will emerge as the new INEC chairman.
Yeah, I think the research revealed that he's a present deputy vice chancellor in University of Jos, a professor of law and a senior advocate of Nigeria. He is qualified if he's given the position. All we want to see now is that under him, INEC will be transformed, just like we mentioned earlier on. All the persons who are contending, whosoever among them that's, and I noticed it's like, okay, all of them are from North Central?
Yes.
All of them are from North Central. Professor Lai Olurede is from where?
Kwara or Kogi.
Okay. Well, his state of origin is not.
All of them are from North. I think Liman is from Nasarawa. Yeah, I think either Kwara or Kogi.
Amiputan is from Kogi.
Yeah.
So this Lai Olurede now is where the person I don't know.
I think Lai should probably be from Kwara.
Considering Lai Mohammed or
no, that Lai is Abdullah.
Okay.
Or sometimes Abdullah. Why sometimes names like Olaiwola.
Okay. All right.
Yeah. But it is not a name that is attached to any state.
All right.
Yes.
So we wish them all well. Whosoever emerge, we wish him well. He has the support of us here. We look forward to them putting in their best and seeing to it that trust is restored on INEC from Nigerians.
Okay. So let us go to another paper here. Okay. The Guardian. Let's go to the Guardian. On the Guardian, we have North Central anxiety lingers over insecurity, fate of displaced person. That is on the major story on the Guardian. Anxiety lingers over insecurity, fate of displaced persons. A humanitarian catastrophe is unfolding in Nigeria's North Central, where banditry, kidnappings, and communal violence have killed many Nigerians and uprooted millions, crippled agriculture, and exposed the depth of fractured peace in tackling one of the country's deadliest internal security crises. In Benue Plateau, Niger, Kogi, Kwara, Nasarawa, and parts of Adamawa, criminal groups have sustained a grim pattern, especially in the 2 years since the inauguration of President Bola Tinubu's administration. At least 6,896 people have been killed in Benue State, while 2,630 lives were lost in Plateau State in the last 4 years. In Benue, the worst affected local councils, Goma, Logo, Gwe West, Agatu, Makurdi, and Kwandi, have seen entire villages emptied as herders attack and reprisals devastate community. Governor Hyacinthe Alia described the violence as a slow war of attrition that must be stopped before it consumes the state. At least 80 farming communities now depend on internally displaced persons camps in Makurdi, Bajimba, and Abagena for survival. In Plateau, thousands of deaths were recorded between 2021 and 2025 in Bokos, Mangu, Barkinladi, Riyom, and Jos South, according to Global Rights and SBM Intelligence. The Mangu and Boko killings in late 2023 left 1,200 homes destroyed, 25,000 people displaced, and farmland worth billions of naira lost. Mass graves discovered in January 2024 in Bokos prompted calls for special military operation. Just look all over the North Central. We've been having issues. Nasarawa, all over the North Central. There's no state that is immune from these deadly attacks and banditry, communal clashes, farmer-herder clashes, or whatever name it is being given to it.
And you see, this displacement is translated into joblessness. People who will have been thriving farmers have lost their profession. People who will have sent their children to school will not be capable of doing that. And so many indices of this is the reason why Nigeria is not developed.
Yes.
Because when people are not stable, when whatever it is you do and there is no stability in it, hardly will you find any progress. People left their homes to continue to stay in places, makeshift accommodations and other things like that. They don't even have the mental balance to go ahead and do anything worthwhile with their life. So this is taking its toll already on the economy of Nigeria. That is already suffering from other challenges like that. There is a need for governments to ensure that these narratives change. Some years back, if you're traveling from maybe this part of the world down to the east, by the time you approach maybe southern Taraba and you're going into Benue, approaching the east like that, just in the middle of nowhere in the bush like that, you will see some people maybe selling foodstuff, yams, crops like that. Activities, economic activities is booming, you understand? There is peace. Even in the night, you will see people who...
They will put lamps on their...
And selling farm produce that people can buy and other things like that. So in those days, when you travel, you only hold some money. By the time you arrive, your boots will be filled up with foodstuff. But you will not see those things again. Nobody will even... Those communities that used to bring those foodstuffs to the roadside are not even existing again because they've been displaced. Yeah, so you see, even if you have those farm produce, you will not be able to stand in those quiet places because somehow some criminals will come and harass you. The insecurity is so much so that it is taking its toll on every aspect of our lives. So let's see how we're going to get around this as a nation.
Look at the case of Kwara State. Forest hideouts, ransom payments. Kwara State has recorded more than 150 deaths and children kidnappings in the past 2 years, with property and livestock losses estimated at over 200 million naira. Bandits, mostly from the Mahmuda group operating within Kanji National Park, have exploited forest reserve in Kayama, Edu, Patigi, Ifelodun, and parts of Baruten councils as hideouts. Originally itinerant preachers, the group turned militant 14 years ago, burning farms, displaying communities, and killing vigilantes. Victims were attacked in their homes on highways or during market raids, with ransom payment ranging from 10 million to 20 million. A Kayama resident recalled there were just 7 of them when they arrived, preaching and farming. Nobody suspected what they would become. Now they raid whole communities without mercy. Look at how they came in as farmers, preachers, and later turned violent. So I think there's a need to also look at how we are going to stop extremism of any form. Because most of these people come with this extremism from outside, recruit more people, and wherever you have poverty is a fertile ground.
It's a fertile ground
for recruiting extremists, because a lot of a hungry man is an angry man. They begin to use lies and the rest of you, the propaganda, to make you see, well, the reason why this is not this is because this is that, that is this. So there's a need to look at our borders.
And at times we tend to be careless about the activities of the people around us. Yes. When you see something that is tilting towards the activities or parameters that you know have the tendency to become something that is evil, there is a need for it to be nipped at the bud. At times we get careless, we don't really care. At times we don't even know, you understand? I've heard some stories some years back of how there is an uncompleted building in one community like that. And every Dick and Harry will just come there and stay. Nobody has taken the time to check out who and who is residing. Everybody will drive past. Everybody will just, these people, they cook from that place. But they later on discover that all the criminalities that has been happening in that area comes from those people. They will stay in that place. They will observe you. They will do this and they will do that. So when people come and set up churches, people come and set up what is it called? These Sangaya schools, these Almajiri schools like that. And in our neighborhood, at times, because of the faith system that we have, we tend to forget him, he is. But there is a need for us to start looking at those things.
Where are they coming from?
Where are they coming from? What are the things they even teach? You understand? Because it's subtle. They will come little by little, then they start moving from one level of evil to another. And that is how this thing is. So there is a need for us, even as community members, to be on the lookout. What is that next door neighbor doing? Not that we'll do what is called gulma. It's not gulma, you understand? But you have to be vigilant. You have to be observant to see. So that if you, those 7 people that came, if they were checked at that point that they were just 7, they wouldn't have wreaked this havoc they are wreaking now.
And I think, if you ask me, the solution to this is a community-driven security system. A community, if you look at most of the states, they are coming up with local security outfit. I think it needs to be more standardized, because these guys are not coming with ding guns and machetes. They are coming with sophisticated weapons. So those at the local level must also be trained in such a way that they can resist them until the army or whosoever comes. And the army is stretched. Look at the general commanding, officer commanding 2nd Division of the Nigerian Army in Ibadan, has relocated to Kwara to coordinate operations. Despite these measures, they are still, it still goes on. So that means that what you need more is a community-based forest guard, vigilantes, but they must be trained. They must be they should be using technology. They should be given good arms and gadgets for communication, for investigation, and the rest of it. These are the things that will help. All this, we just give people uniform, and they believe in some local science, and it wouldn't work, because even those guys also believe in what you have, those things you have, and much more.
And well, we live in different parts of the world. I don't think whether what we describe here as social, what do you call it, science, all these things we believe that protects us are effective in Europe. Because hardly will you see all these Western forces going to a place and claiming that it is because of one spiritual energy that makes them succeed. It is pure technology they use, and intelligence gathering, and superior firearms.
Okay, so we'll call on the authorities once again to look into this matter. This is just the North Central. We have issues in the Northeast. We have it in the Southeast. We have it in the Northwest. I think if you ask the South has some, what they call militancy and cult-related and issues. Also, the Southwest has its own share of these problems, kidnapping, robbery, and the rest of it. So there's a need for us to look at our, without us saying state of emergency. Don't need to, let us just do the right thing. And we are ripe for state police. I don't know why we keep pushing this back. But Nigeria is ripe for a state police. Okay, with that, let's go to the nation. The nation for today, I'm going to take the major stories. Certificate scandal. Naji resigns ministerial position. We're just discussing it yesterday.
Yeah.
President Bola Tinubu last night accepted the resignation of Mr. Godfrey Uche Naji as Minister of Innovation, Science and Technology. It followed allegations surrounding the authenticity of his academic credentials. A statement by the Special Advisor to the President on Information and Strategy, Mr. Bayo Nanuga, confirmed that the President approved Naji's resignation. Naji was appointed in August 2023, expressed gratitude to President Tinubu for the opportunity to serve, attributing his resignation to sustained blackmail and political persecution. I have been a target of blackmail by political opponents, he stated. The former minister came under public scrutiny in recent weeks after reports questioned the authenticity of some certificates submitted during the ministerial screening. Despite repeatedly denying wrongdoing, civil groups and political figures called for a suspension pending investigation. Nanuga said the president thanked Naji for his service and wished him well in future endeavor. Naji's exit marks the first ministerial resignation by certificate-related controversy in the Tinubu administration. Well, he has resigned. He said it's blackmail. It's this. And the institution said you didn't attend our school. So what is blackmail in it? He should point, instead of, well, maybe he feels it's blackmail, but the truth of the matter is that he has not been able to prove that certificate is genuine.
Well, I'm not saying this in his support or anything. Maybe he was too busy performing his ministerial function to prove that he is innocent. Maybe now that he has resigned, he will have more time to explain to Nigerians that it was actually a blackmail. But first thing first, as it stands now, this is a criminal offense.
Yes.
So there is a follow-up that should follow this resignation. Yeah. That is the way it should be. Now we all clapping hands because this is the first time, because normally he will have waited until, but he resigned, which is a step forward, you know. It's a good thing for our politics. Now let's see how the end result will be. He should come out and explain and prove that he has been blackmailed, it is all lies to tarnish his image, or he should face the wrath of the law.
Okay. Well, let us see how this plays out. But I think it shouldn't just end with resignation. If it's true, he should be. They should face the law, and if it's a lie, he should go to take those who tarnished his image and blackmail him to court, and they should also face the wrath of the law. That's the way things should be, and I believe that.
And look at something. Look at this commentary here. How could such controversies arise after a nominee has already been cleared by the Senate, the DSS, and other relevant verification bodies? How did he scale that? How did they escape that? Though, you understand, these DSS, they're human beings too. They must have overlooked something, or maybe they must have ignored something.
And sometimes the list you need is your SSC.
To be
so why do they present fake certificates? What you need is just your SSC.
Maybe if you just bring an SSC and you're appointed a minister, tongues will work.
It's better tongues work if you have results coming from where you are coming from. Tongues will work, but you have results to show. It is better than presenting something that is fake. And although we are not saying what he prayed, but I think you need to look beyond him resigning and saying that we have to be sure, because it's a crime.
Yes, resignation is not accountability. There is a need for the conclusion of this movie to be played.
Yeah. Okay, with that, move to another paper. We move to the Daily Times. The Daily Times, where I think there's a Tinubu 6 NAS approval for 2.3 billion external borrowing. President Tinubu said the loan will be used for part finance the 2025 budget deficit, refinance Nigeria's maturing Euro bonds, and issue the country's debut sovereign sukuk in the international capital market. He has requested the approval of the House of Representatives to raise over 2.3 billion. The request was contained in the letter dated 22nd September and read by the Speaker of the House of Representatives, Abbas Tajuddin, during Tuesday's plenary. The letter was titled Request for Resolution of National Assembly to implement new external borrowing in the 2025 Appropriation Act, refinance mature Euro bonds, and issue debut sovereign sukuk in the international capital market. According to the President, the external borrowing request includes a new loan of 1.84 trillion naira, about $1.23 billion at the budget exchange rate of 1,500 naira per dollar to part finance the 2025 budget deficit. It also includes a plan to refinance Nigeria's mature Euro bonds worth 1.12 billion due on 21st November, as well as the issuance of $500 million debut sovereign sukuk in the international market. So, okay, now let's look at the details of the borrowing plan. Mr. Tinubu explained that the 2025 operation had provided for a total of 9.27 trillion naira in new borrowings, 7.43 trillion in domestic loans and 1.4 trillion in external borrowing to bridge the budget deficit. So, well, to me, what I wanted to see is in the budget, they said they are going to, I think a percentage of financing the budget to be on loans. So, to me, this is not coming as a surprise. I knew this would come because if you look at the budget, it was clearly stated there that about there are about 9.27 trillion naira will be borrowed. So if this thing fall within that, no law has been broken. No law has been broken.
Yeah.
But the problem is the accountability of these loans. That is the major problem.
Yeah.
In terms of this is not out of the box.
Yeah, that is the way it is. It's a prudent financial move if you have deficit in the budget and you make endeavors to see that you cover it up. There is nothing wrong with it. The only problem will be the management of the funds that is borrowed, just like you pointed out. So at times, Nigerians will only come up and shout, we should not borrow again, we should not borrow again. It is not in the best interest of Nigeria if these funds are not secured. So many things will go wrong. You understand? We're going to face so many challenges as a nation because when you have budget deficits, so many things are tied to that budget that have to be completed. The only thing we need to agitate for now is that, okay, go ahead, get the approval, collect the funds, but ensure that it is judiciously expended.
That is the problem we have in Nigeria. Loans itself is a facility that all over the world people take. But the problem with Nigeria is it's a facility that mostly facilitates the
corruption.
Facilitate corruption. That is the problem I have, or a lot of Nigerians have with loans. But I think the more can be done. More can be done in transparency of these loans and the rest of it.
Somebody said, if all the loans we've collected as a nation have been put to good use, we may not have reasons to go about collecting these loans again.
That's true. That is true. Okay, I think that's all we'll take on this segment of the morning show. We'll go for a short break. When we'll come back, the morning show continues.
Are you a businessman or woman? Do you need loan to grow?
When a tanker bearing fuel falls or an underground pipe bearing fuel bursts, what do? Scooping fuel in your bucket or running far away from impending fire? You have a few seconds to take the wisest decision. Walk away? No, that is not enough. Shift? No, that is not enough. Stay there and gist and take shots with your phone? That is madness. Run. Yes, run away. Yes, your life depends on your action. The flames come suddenly, unexpected but uncontrollable. Why? Fuel is highly inflammable. Why? It just requires a spark to set off a ravaging inferno. So, don't stay there to think. Storm away to live. Do not throw away your life in anguish for meaningless fuel siphoning. Be advised.
Hey Taraba State, let's ascend to the future. Imagine a world where entertainment, transportation, finance and commerce are at your fingertips 24/7. Welcome to the future. Taraba Business School and Taraba News proudly present a revolutionary lineup of products and services designed to transform your life. Sun TV, your premier 24/7 destination for local and international entertainment, news, and educational content. Come to the broadcast of News Hour on Super Media Television.
Welcome to the broadcast of World News on Super Media Television.
Welcome to the broadcast of news across Nigeria on Super Media Television.
This is Sport Daily on Some TV.
Good morning, Nigeria. This is the morning show from Sun TV.
Supercab, safe, convenient and affordable 24/7 transportation services across Jalingo and Taraba State. Unlock seamless 247 financial transactions, easy loans, and rewarding savings with our innovative mobile banking solution. Taraba Online Markets. Buy and sell local and exotic products. Connect with suppliers and grow your businesses 247 with our vibrant e-commerce platform. TBS e-learning. Access a wall of knowledge with our comprehensive online courses and myriad of professional programs. SuperSoft. Unlock exclusive subscription-based services, discounts, and reward. Don't miss this groundbreaking products and services. Join us as we all celebrate in the future and experience the future today. Taraba Business School and Taraba News, empowering your future 247. Ascend.
Keep watching Some TV. Keep watching Some TV. Keep watching Some TV. watching Sam TV.